So have you noticed how, like, something's wrong with the Polaris? Like it's a nice ship for some parts, but like it feels like something doesn't fit. So I analyzed it. What made me feel that way, and I came to the conclusion that it's an older ship that was in development for a long time, so they had less experienced people work on it. And then to finish it up, they had some very experienced people work on smaller parts of the ship, which leads to very inconsistent quality. And it shouldn't be like that for a ship that's, I think it costs almost $1,000 now. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to show you how the Starlifter and the Hammerhead especially are, I think, much better ships and much cheaper for what they do. Okay, so let's start in this room. That's, I think, one of the habs so we can sleep in. Now, that's a really nice made room, and you can tell it was made recently by a more experienced artist. Now, I don't like the super aggressive angular shapes of it, but it has that, similar to the Intrepid, like that ideal mix between cramped and cozy. So this part looks nice, okay, although the lighting is a bit blown out, you see it here, which means they have a lighting artist who is probably not a lighting artist who works on Squadron 42, because on Squadron 42 the lighting is much better. See here, that blown out lighting over here. Okay, now let's go into the hallway. Okay, nice flowers over here. Let's look at this hallway. Now it looks okay, but can you feel like something's wrong with it? Like there's something wrong with it on the local level, just the hallway itself, and how it fits into the rest of the ship, or how it doesn't fit into the ship. So let me show you what I think is wrong here. Notice see, it looks like it's not a hallway that was designed as an integral part of the ship. It looks like a room where a level artist simply arranged sci-fi props to look cool. Because you can see it, you see the clean separation between the different asset pieces. Here's one piece, here's one piece, and here it keeps repeating. You can tell that the whole room, it looks like somebody tried to fill the space with repetitive geometry. Okay, let's go to the next room. Okay, now this room looks a bit more interesting, but notice there's a certain primitive blockiness to the shapes of the assets. And notice the lighting, how badly blown out it is. See that here? I don't think you'll find a single point in the entire Squadron 42 presentation video where the lighting looks this blown out. Again, you see it, like the angular shape. Okay, it makes sense for the type of ship. There's some elegance to it, but notice how it looks like the assets are too primitive, so they can't reach the intended beauty of what perhaps the concept was. Now with the mess hall, you see here, you see the pattern keeps repeating. The lighting is very blown out. And you can see the structure of the room looks nice. The way they put the angled window into it. Notice that they put a bit more effort into that mess hall than they put into the hallway. But notice the tables, they just copy-pasted 2 tables in there like that. Okay, now this room is a bit, I think it's almost tragic, because I think they tried something really good here, but I think the asset quality couldn't reach the quality of the concept. Because see that really large blast door, that's a repeating concept they have in, I think I saw some of that in Pyro videos and some of Squadron 42's leaked videos. We have like these really beautiful large blast doors that are really fitted into the walls. But the lighting just doesn't look right. See, it has that. And then look at the hallway. Like, does it look like a spaceship hallway, or does it look like a hotel? Like it's not in a spaceship, like it's in a concrete building. Like the whole hallway looks like it's supposed to be a concrete building, but they put metal sci-fi textures onto it. Okay, now in the bridge, I think the bridge looks a lot nicer than the rest of the ship. That's one of the rooms I think they recently worked over. Like it has that protruding canopy, but the structure look really nice. And so the bridge looks I think relatively nice. However, if you look at the user interface, I think it's pretty bad. which also indicates that's probably an older piece of geometry they didn't want to update. Notice here. You see, that really doesn't look nice, All the colors are blown out, which I think is a problem of the UI, where the developers are trying to match the UI to the manufacturer. So you get this cartoony, aggressive, contrasting colors in it against a black background. I think it's pretty bad. And notice how it's arranged into the thing. Yeah, I don't like it. Okay, now specifically for this video, I flew back to Lowell with the Polaris to check out the Hammerhead to show you a few things. I think it's probably the best ship in the entire game. You just take a look. If you compare it to what you saw in the Polaris. And the Hammerhead by now is, I think, at least 6 years old. You see how the entire structure of the hallway, like everything was purpose-built to be part of a ship. And the entire ship, the geometry, the textures, the lighting, was done by people who appear to have a much higher quality standard for themselves than the people who made the Polaris. Because I think they have two separate teams. The teams who make no mistakes, those are the ones that are on Squadron 42. And then there's the Star Citizen team, which I think doesn't reach that level of quality. See the lighting, the padding, the way the quality of the assets, and how it structurally fits into the ship. And how it's amazing how much space they squeezed into the ship, how many different rooms they squeezed into it, and how much quality is there. And the Polaris, it's the opposite. They probably had a large ship size, they had to fill the rooms, and they didn't know what to do with themselves. That led to those weird hallways that don't seem consistent, and just look at this ship. Now, some may say that's just a connecting hallway, but look at the quality of it. Like every single room, front to back, is really high quality in this. I want to show you the mess hall. So the way up to the mess hall, and just look at the doors here. And they had this quality 6 years ago. So why is that quality not in every ship after that? And I think the reason for that is that back in 2016, 2017, when I first designed the ship, I think, they still weren't sure about funding. So they had these big flagship things they had to put in the game to give the players confidence to buy ships. And then the funding exploded, and they noticed, okay, we can get away with lower quality and make more ships. And that's what you currently see with the Polaris and actually quite a lot of other ships. And it's up to the players to reward quality or something that's not as good. The ships you buy will dictate, or the ships you don't buy will dictate the quality level of the next ship. Let's go up to the cafeteria. Because that fascinates me. Why this ship has so much quality and most newer ships don't have that. If you look at the Sealand, for example, that's just some weird sci-fi thing, or what's the other one? The Nomad, where they just skip the landing gear. The Intrepid and the Crusader ships being a slight exception because they put some real quality into those. Like the Intrepid I really like, at least from the inside. From the outside, it's a mutated monster, I think. Just look at this. It's just the most perfect ship in the game. And the light, notice that the lighting isn't blown out. Okay, there's a bit of much fog, but the cafeteria. Now compare that to the cafeteria of the Polaris earlier in the video. Notice how the entire room with the padding below it was purpose-built to fit into the ship. With really good asset quality, lighting quality, and the design quality of the entire place. So that's my question. Why can't they make ships like the Hammerhead? Same level of quality, different sizes. Can it be different manufacturers too? Like the game shouldn't have this inconsistent amount of quality, especially if they're making ships that cost almost $1,000. Because that's the Hammerhead, which I think is also pretty expensive. For how much does it cost right now? $800. But the Polaris costs almost $1,000. And it doesn't reach that level of quality. So yeah, that's why I made this video, because I think I noticed that when I was playing the Polaris, I just walked around in it and noticed you can just feel the inconsistency in the quality. Just look at this room. How beautifully the lighting bleeds in from this side. It's a bit colder, offset against the umber lighting from this side. Then the detail on the ground. You actually won't find it in any other ship. Perhaps the Intrepid has some of that. And here's the thing, the game doesn't actually need manufacturers, because I think most manufacturers, I think they're a bit too over-exaggerated in their character. I would be happy if the entire game would only have Aegis Hammerhead type ships, big, small, medium ones, with the same Hammerhead star. Because I think that's one of those ships they designed, I think they also designed it based off some pieces of some of the bigger battle cruisers in the game, that have been in the game for a long time. And I think they had really good concept artists work on those. And the whole idea of having different manufacturers that are like superheroes with their super special architecture, that only came later into the game. And I think it poisoned the artistic quality of the game, because just look at the beauty of this hallway. Now compared to any other manufacturer like Misk, or I mean even Crusader ships don't reach that.